Hello, my name's Carlos Gomez de Segura. I'm the technical manager in Spain for the company Proclima. I'm going to talk about the secure sealing of building envelopes using Proclima solutions. We'll present 4 projects that were carried out in Spain. Firstly, a single-family home located in Granada, Padul, based on the design of Decaro architects and the construction company VDM Construcciones, applying Aerosana Viscon liquid membrane. This building was a brick, concrete and steel construction with different types of joints between steel pillars, brick walls, concrete flooring and wooden frames. So we decided to use this type of liquid membrane as a solution for achieving airtightness. The objective was to achieve airtightness of both surfaces and also joints between the different construction elements and the carpentry elements. What was the objective? Well, the objective was to achieve airtightness of both surfaces and also the joints between the different construction and carpentry elements. But there's no problem in achieving this. All you need is good advice, training, professionalism and good material, such as Aerosana Viscon. In this case, this project was used as a practical workshop for a group of students that were taking a course for appliers. There are different types of applications that would have to be performed depending on the types of joints in the project. Firstly, we would complete the strengthening of the meeting points between the vertical and horizontal partitions and pillars, and to do this we used Aerosana fleece, which we applied using a brush. We completed this type of reinforcement work even in places where there was no support, because the openings were larger. We would have to create a surface where we could then apply the membrane. After completing these joints or meeting points using Aerosana fleece, we applied the membrane using airless spraying. This was done on 2 passes, making sure that we covered all of the surface areas, reinforcing specific points where applications were used. Surfaces have to be stable to avoid adherence problems, and depending on the condition or state of the support, the consumption of the material would vary. The second project is in Palma de Mallorca with CLT, and airtightness was achieved using Solitex Adhero adhesive membrane. In this case, there were a series of facade panels prefabricated, and these were reached from the adjoining building, which could not be accessed in an adequate way. The panels came ready fitted with the special type of membrane and also the cork panels, which served as insulation and also for facade finishing. Care has to be taken to account for overlapping and the continuity of the layer and also the successive assembly of the panels on the facade. Here's a close-up of the panels after placement. On the left, the panel waiting for the next overlapping panel to be placed, and on the right, we can also see how the central cork panel has also been placed to close the section. The facades are easily accessible and can be worked on from the exterior, and this is done by layers. Firstly, we would place the adhesive sheeting on the CDT, ensuring that we work on all of the elements appropriately, and subsequently place the cork panel, which is screwed within the area where, for example, the cork feet would be fitted to protect the work. We selected the membrane, which was placed on the exterior, because the wood would be exposed on the interior side. The third project is in Lugo. There you have the details of the architects. It's a single-family home in which airtightness was achieved by applying adhesive tape. It's a single-floor building with a gable roof and also recessing in the centre. The carpentry was sealed using tape with a 2-metre S value. We also need a moisture barrier tape which will prevent the passage of vapour to the cold face. It's important to correctly seal the joints in the corners because this will also guarantee good performance. We have to avoid pockets or air pockets in these type of joints, which will subsequently hinder the performance of the carpentry. Subsequently, we would glue or tape the longitudinal sectors, applying the pressure spatula, which will improve cohesion with the support material. It's important, on the one hand, to work on guarantee adhesion and also cohesion. And this will also guarantee the durability of the system. The idea is to ensure that the tapes are durable and last in time. For exterior sealing, we used a tape with an SD value of 0.7 meters, which, since it would be very open to vapor diffusion, would allow us to evacuate any moisture that would accumulate around the window frame, and thus allow all moisture to be evacuated. Special mention has to be made of the gutter. It's a recessed metal gutter. For this purpose, we used a special hermetic tape, or rather a hermetic sheet, which incorporates a special system which allowed us to ventilate below the gutter. We created the base layer, and on this we placed the metallic gutter, reinforcing impermeability using this special tape, which allowed us to guarantee water tightness, and also air could circulate through the gutter, and we would avoid possible condensation on the sheeting. There you can see at the time of covering and the final roofing with the metal roof. And finally, we're going to present a project carried out in Valladolid in the El Peral urbanization, designed by Alberto López Merino, and the construction company Esgonza, and airtightness was achieved using these self-adhesive tapes. So this is a building made with brickwork and concrete flooring in which the carpentry faced towards the exterior, and the insulation system used was the SATE system. For interior sealing or airtightness on vertical partitions and walls, plaster was used, and self-adhesive tape on the carpentry with an SD of 2.8 m Contega Solido SL. In this way, we achieved a vapor barrier that would prevent moisture from penetrating from the cold face. Then we could apply the plaster and provide continuity to the airtight layer, ensuring that the building is fully sealed. On the exterior, we used similar tape to the previous example, open to vapor diffusion, which would seal the carpentry against the vertical walls. In this case, we applied plaster around the carpentry to achieve good adhesion of the tape. Because otherwise, what could occur on a facade such as this one with brickwork is that the actual brick joints could also produce infiltrations. It's important to ensure professional execution of such work, taking into account all sealing points. As you can see on the left photograph, sealing of the different fixing brackets. And then it's important to adapt the tape perfectly to the geometry to ensure that there are no air pockets or folds that could hinder our work. With all of this, we can ensure perfect insulation. And we say this because if we guarantee good air tightness, the insulation that we've planned and calculated will be efficient to fulfill all of these characteristics. And good quality windows placed in these openings, if we can avoid infiltration around the perimeter ceiling, then the carpentry will provide the quality we required. Thank you very much. Here are our contact details. If you have any queries, we would be delighted to deal with any of your technical and commercial queries and questions. Thank you very much.